is a talented actress who's appeared in numerous films, including The Devil Wears Prada, Brokeback Mountain, and The Princess Diaries 1 and 2, beginning tomorrow. You can see her in Get Smart. Please welcome the lovely Anne Hathaway. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. You know, your last topic just reminded me. I always thought I had the best porn star name in the world. You know how, like, you figure out your porn star?
Yeah, how does that... I forget that trick. What is it again?
It's your first pet and your first street. And so I always thought I had a really good one.
Right.
Mine's Sandy Chestnut. And...
That's a great porn name,
My cousin has a better one.
What?
Tipper Center.
Tipper Center. That's just weird. That's disturbing. That has me thinking of things. When I was about 3 years old, I got a cat, and I was 3, so I named her Pebbles. So I'd be Pebbles Kennard. That sounds...
That's like Romanian porn.
Yeah. I like it. They like it. I want to ask you something. This is very strange. A couple of years ago, by way of explanation, this is a number of years ago, Marilyn Manson was on the show. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, he's like, I want to give you something. And he gave me a bottle of absinthe. And for anyone who doesn't know, absinthe is this green liquor that is highly potent and illegal. And it was was illegal.
It was illegal.
But this was Marilyn Manson thinking, I'm going to do something that'll freak Conan out, have some absinthe. And I thought it's this, I was like freaked out about having it. I better hide this. And I drank a lot of it. But then I read that you drink absinthe. Is that true? That you had like you were given a bottle of absinthe? Yeah, you had an experience?
Oh, Conan, I was in Russia. By way of explanation.
I was in Russia. I heard you murdered someone in Russia.
It was our last night of filming, and we'd shot all night, and we'd shot, I think, about 3 night shoots in a row. And we all decided to go out to a club, and someone, I swear it wasn't me, came up with the idea, well, let's do shots of absinthe. And, like, they lit them on fire and did this whole thing. And I turned to Steve Carell, and I said, I'll have one if you have one, not expecting him to say yes, and then he did.
Really, Steve Carell? Because he's such a, I know him a little bit. He's a very
normal, kind of straight-laced.
Very straight-laced sort of guy, and I can't imagine him doing a shot of absinthe.
Well, even funnier was he was like, want to have another?
Really?
And so we did, and you know when like someone who's a little straight-laced kind of gets that, starts hearing the beat?
Yeah, yeah.
And starts doing like, yeah, okay, this is a fun night.
Right.
So he was kind of in that place. And then a couple weeks later, we saw each other, and he's like, Annie, did you know it was a drug? Did you know, did you know it was illegal? I'm so nervous. So, sorry, Steve.
Yeah. Please don't talk about it ever on television.
Mention it, especially not to Conan.
Yeah. Well, how did you like Russia? I would think Russia would be. I mean, I've never gone to Russia. I would love to go there. What's it like?
It was so unexpected. We didn't know we were going until about 2 weeks before we left, and it was. I mean, I love traveling. I love going to new places, and there's so much history there. And it was amazing. It's different. It's obviously very different than America. They don't seem so concerned with, like, safety regulations over there. So, I took the subway, and you step on the escalator, and it's kind of like Jaws. It's like if Jaws the shark was an escalator, it would be this escalator.
Just giant metal teeth grab you and pull you up the stairs? Is that?
That's exactly. Oh my! Have you been?
No, but it sounds like they're just not as they're not as worried about everybody being safe all the time. So
no, and so I'm like the American freaking out, and everyone else looks like they're like, it's fun.
Life is short. Get on escalator. I lost 3 uncles on escalator. Get on escalator. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And I was there, I think, during finals week in Moscow. Either that or just there's a bunch of drunk college students in Moscow.
Right.
But I was waiting to do this one shot, and this girl comes up to me, and she's got like
a Russian girl?
A Russian girl comes up to me. She's got a bottle in one hand. She pushes me and says something. No clue what. And you know me, I'm just like, oh gosh, no, I'm Americana. Like I don't even know what I'm doing.
Did she think that you were
She thought I either stole her boyfriend or she just did not like the look of me.
Right.
And so all of a sudden, these 2 security guards from our movie just come out of nowhere, pick her up by the arms, and she was gone.
Never heard from again, eh?
And I was advised not to ask any questions.
And they said, whatever you do, don't talk about this on television. You violated that rule like 3 times tonight.
I'm getting so many
Let's talk about
later.
the person you murdered. We have something in common, which is you were in an a cappella group in college.
Yeah.
At Vassar, and it's the same group that my wife was in, Measure for Measure.
I heard it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was her singing group, and she was the one that blew the pitch pipe.
She was the pitch.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility. I was not responsible enough to be pitch.
Right. My wife's got it all together, yeah. She uses it to this day when I'm out of line. She's like, shut up. But I think we should go, shut your pie hole. So it works.
Yeah, a cappella is its own unique brand of geekdom. I mean, it's kind of like an offshoot from theater nerddom. So,
there's theater nerddom and a cappella geekdom. That's nice.
And I'm a member of both.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay, so you do both. Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the guy clutching the Dungeons and Dragons box.
My people!
But did you, the a cappella groups, that's actually weirdly how I got my start in performing, is my first gig ever was the a cappella group in my college said, would you be the guy, the stand-up, the MC?
Well, that's a really cool idea, because it's really important to have a great theme for your concert, because otherwise, how are you going to get people to come watch a cappella?
Right, right.
It's tougher than it sounds. And so we had this great concert where our theme was the letter M. And so, like, somebody was a monkey, and someone else was Mary, the Virgin, and I was Mary Catherine Gallagher. So I got to do the entire concert in character as Mary Catherine Gallagher. It was very fun. My song was Freedom, so I got to do that. And at the end of the song, I jumped into a bunch of boxes.
But what was your favorite song of all that you did? What do you think? I mean, what songs were like really were you good at?
I loved good at. I don't know. I mean, how good can you be at a cappella? Really?
Right.
I mean, there is a cap.
I like it when an a cappella group tackles a song that you would never think. They're like, welcome to the jungle. We've got fun and games. We've got everything you want. And, you know, you're just like, yeah. Every now and then they bust something out like that. And God save the Queen. You know, you're just like.
We kind of had the song. It's not very well known here, but one of the girls came back from her junior year abroad in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And she was obsessed with a singer named Anastasia, who's an American singer, but is huge in Europe. And there was the song Paid My Dues. So I was like, all right, I'll audition for it. I mean, I'm probably not going to get it because I'm not that good at it. And I got it because I was the only one that auditioned, and then I had to perform it.
Oh, boy.
And there is nothing more excruciating in life than doing a cappella and knowing you are doing a cappella so badly.
Right.
It's its own unique brand of hell.
Right. I've explored similar brands on this show. Many times. Let's talk about Get Smart. This was probably my favorite television show when I was a kid.
Me too.
Loved the show, so highly anticipating the movie, and great cast. Were you a fan of the? You were a fan of the show as well?
Oh, big time, big time. It would air on Nick at Night when I was growing up. So when I was 8 years old, I would actually play Get Smart and pretend to be Agent 99 and run around and say all the catchphrases.
That's weird that you, as a kid, are pretending to be Agent 99, and now they're paying you to be Agent 99.
No, it's totally unexpected. So wonderful that my life kind of took this turn. I only auditioned for it to meet Steve Carell and just to kind of say someday to my kids, yeah, I auditioned for that film. I wanted to because I loved it when I was a kid, and it's now turned into this thing. And I saw the movie, and it's great. We had the premiere on Monday, and people are really loving it.
Well,
it's really exciting.
We have a clip here from the movie. What can you tell us about? I think that's actually a good action scene with you and Steve Carell.
Well, Control, our agency, has just been infiltrated. We don't know by whom. Steve and I have kind of seen each other for the first time. It's revealed that I'm Agent 99, and we are trying to get rid of the baddies.
All right, let's take a look at this clip from Get Smart.
Good. 23. Just in time. I think I got one of them.
Is that the chief?
Yes, it is.
Sorry about that, Chief.
Is that a dent in his head?
And that's, of course, Alan Arkin. How cool to do a movie with Alan Arkin?
Oh, he's He's becoming my idol.
One of the
He's
all-time greats.
fantastic.
Well, Get Smart opens tomorrow. Anne, thanks so much for
Thank
being
you
here.
for having me
nice
back.
to see you again. Anne Hathaway will be right back. Come on, Marco from the Love Guru. Stick around.